subscribe. We're smashing out the content and we're well on our way to getting to 4.5k subs. The road to 10k is among us. It's a big target. So if you can help me and you do enjoy the content and this content is for you, just hit that like button, turn that notification bell on. It does help the channel and you can become a member. We just did a giveaway. Big Lewis won a Guernsey of his choice. So we can't wait to present that to him. And the link is in the description to do that. So if you want to become part of the community, we do monthly watch little lives. It's good little crack and things like that. So come on down, say hi. And we do things for all clubs, not just Carlton. And what we're doing today, talking about that, is we're finishing off our best 22s for round 1. And we start with the Eagles. So let's get straight into it. So with their fullback line, it's an interesting way in how I think that they'll go about it. Because I think if you look at the Eagles, they're definitely in a transitional period. Do I think they'll go full kid? No, I don't. But I do think there's a great argument to, because I think they've got a lot of young, talented lists, and I do think they need to speed the ball movement up to become in vogue with today's game. But we've gone Shannon and Hearn. Do you know what I mean? Old staple, old trusty. He's like an old pair of slippers. Tom Barras, one of the best key defenders in the comp. And Big Coley there. And I think there's a nice little conduit here. You've got the intercept prowess. You've got the ability of Cole as well to take them intercept grabs and to also be kind of a pseudo lockdown. And you've got Shannon Hearn, do you know what I mean, who very direct and very stable and a very solid head. Barras, definitely I'm looking this year as well to take a bit more of that leadership role on down the back, orchestrating it. I like it when a key defender orchestrates his backline, but Barras is world class. There's no getting around it, and that's a very solid back three. Going into the half-back line, Liam Duggan, who I think is one of the most underrated players and what he does in his role. He always stands out for me, and probably when you look at the Eagles, the kudos goes elsewhere, but I find him a super solid player. I really do enjoy how he uses the ball and how he looks to make things happen. You got Jez McGovern there. Tell you what, if they can keep him fit, there is always a chance, because his ability to turn defense into attack in just the matter of a mark and a kick is deadly. And that could be a big thing for Eagles this year, where they kind of shock teams, in my opinion, with their ability to do that. And we got the new boy there, Jaden Hunt, who I was actually surprised Melbourne let go. I really like what he does, and I would probably prefer him to Christian Salem, if I'm honest, which may be a bold call, but I really like Hunt of how he works about it. Works really hard. He likes to overlap his wing, give them some attack by hand and foot. So I really like that. And I think that is kind of a solid back six, in my opinion. It's got ball use. It's got transitional threat. Probably it has the brand names as well. Do you know what I mean? I'd imagine a lot of key forwards. I think the big question mark is fitness, isn't it, with McGovern? If that goes down, does he become a bit light there? Is the depth go? Be an interesting one. But I think as a back six, it isn't bad. Gone the centre line, and this has probably been the same centre line for what feels like an eternity, with the exception of Kelly. But we've gone Gaff, Yo, and Kelly. Yo has been really impressive in the pre-season, particularly, when he swings down back as well. I'm expecting a big thing from Elliot Yo, and I think he's one of them players that kind of gets typecast as, he gets the simple ball, and, he gets the hard ball, and people kind of forget about him. I think Elliot Yo is a very terrific footballer in his own right. Gaff probably made the wing what the wing is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? He was probably the first guy that really brought the wing to an attention in the last 10 years. And Kelly, probably, in my opinion, been probably the biggest disappointment for a while. He looked a world beater at Geelong, hasn't quite set the world alight. Good argument to say that's probably been Eagles as well, as much as it is on him. But he's someone that I think this year, these type of players definitely have to stand out, because you'd imagine, in all fairness, Eagles, I think you'd be mental to say that they're not bottom 6, bottom 4. I've gone. I think you'd be mental to suggest they'll be higher than that. And that's no disrespect to the Eagles. That's all the respect in the world. But Kelly's one of them players that I think has got to step up here and really, impact the game and really move the Eagles forward, because I think this will be a transitional year. I think a lot of these names won't be here in 2024, particularly in the first 22. Half forward line, Jack Petrocelli. This guy here he looks so good. He does look so good. He really stands out, particularly when he had that wispy hair as well. But the pace, and he's got the talent. It's about really acquitting himself. And that's why I think there's a good argument that the Eagles will start to rein in some kids as well this year, bring them in. But I'm a big fan of Petrocelli, and he's going to be one that I really want to see with a sustained block of games and really cement his level, because I think he belongs at this level, and I think that pace is just deadly, because especially at them wider grounds, he can really hurt you. Gone Waterman at centre half forward. A little bit of talent there to work with, and he's kind of underrated, but he scraps so hard for a big guy, and I think that is so poignant. And Jamie Cripps off him. He made pressure forwards in vogue, in my opinion. He's still one of the best at the exploits of it. He impresses me time and time again how he just puts so much pressure on that exit ball. And it's kind of one of them thankless tasks, isn't it? And I'm a big fan of Jamie Cripps. I think he really holds it together. And I think you look at the great forward lines they have, a Jamie Cripps type player that really makes it difficult to get easy ball against. And then the full forward line, this is it's got the excitement machine, Liam Ryan, flying Ryan. You love to see him. He brings a smile on your faces. One of them footballers that even if he's playing you, like, in my opinion, he gives you a smile, doesn't he? Like, he plays the game in the right environment, and it's one of them things that, you just enjoy watching him play. He's one of them players that you do enjoy watching play, albeit he can damage you. Oscar Allen, it's great to have him back. He really impressed me the year before he got the injury. I think there's a lot riding on him now. This is where he's got to go up the next level and really, show what it's about. Big hole in that forward line this year. And one of these two, Waterman and Allen, will step up. And I think they're really talented. And I think once they get that equilibrium, it's going to be quite a potent forward line, because they've got the great contrast and they complement each other really well. And then we've got Jonesy there in the forward line. Again, a little bit like a Cripps type player, where he is pressure-based, high energy rate as well. And he's got that ability to do the unthinkable. And I think that's a really solid front six for me. And it's going to be interesting to see how that materializes, because you'd imagine that they're probably going to be feeding on scraps at certain times. The followers, this is a temperamental one because we don't know. I think it's a hammy Williams has got, but I'd imagine that they don't risk Nick Nat straight up. It looks like the Eagles have been firm on that plan. And that makes sense, because Nick Nat, for me, is a key pillar still to this day. And I think he will play as many games as time will allow. It's a shame, because Nick Nat still, for me, is one of the best. And if he can stay fit, it'll be brilliant. Dom Sheed is definitely someone that I'm looking at who's going to get a lot of ball and has got that central role. And I think his role has changed. Watching preseason, his role has most certainly changed in the avenue that it looks like he's getting a lot more responsibility, which I think is good, because I think he is damaging. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. And he's with Old Messer, Luke Shuey. There's a lot of experience there. Bailey Williams is a big ox, big buxom bloke, isn't he? He's big and hard. And I think Sheed and Shuey working off him, I think that's going to be nice. I think they're going to enjoy the first use as well a little bit there. And when Nick Nat comes in, I think them followers will do itself. And then the interchange, Ruben Gimby, we're excited about seeing him. A lot talked about. He's a big boy. Big boy. Few steaks in his school lunches, I think. But real talented, real class player. Very tough, hard at it. And definitely someone that I think will benefit the Eagles, especially where they're going. Campbell Cheshire, I like this kid. There's something about him. I think he's gone quite under the radar, and obviously being out here in Victoria, people just don't really give kudos to anyone outside of Victoria. It is kind of hard, but very silky, very class. And I remember him at Sandy. He's just got that ability. He's just got that ability to dance around, and very exciting prospect for him. And I think he will play very early doors. I've gone Alex Witherden. This has been a big one, because obviously they recruited him, and I thought he was sensational at Brisbane. Hasn't quite set the world alight. I think Simo does seem to really, really like this guy. And when he's fit, he seems to play. And I think he's a class act. Good user of the ball as well. And he really attacks the ball hard. I think he's going to be a key little component here. And Jai Cully, the mid-season draft, this kid is a box of tricks. I'm looking forward to seeing him. And he's going to do his apprenticeship the hard way, I think, at the Eagles. And you're going to see the best of him, because that mid-draft year, pressure doesn't really affect him. And he stands out. And he's another one who plays the game in the good spirits. Players that I'm keeping an eye out for, Rhett Bazza. Obviously, he's got a few niggles at the moment, but once he's fit, he's definitely in this 22. And I'm looking forward to seeing him. I think there's a real hole for Rhett, and I think he's going to really take that opportunity. Harry Barnett is one that I was a big fan of, particularly out in Adelaide in his draft year. Him and Lemmy and stuff, they rotated well. Scully as well. We talked a lot about them. Good ruckcraft as well. He's going to be learning off a very, very good player in Nick Natanui, and he's got some good mobility about this kid. And I'm looking forward to seeing his development. Tyrell Dewar, we covered him at the draft as well. This kid here is a box of tricks, quick, high energy, and I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes. And then we've gone with Hewitt, who I thought was maybe underrated at the draft, X-Factor attacking. I think he could be the Tim Kelly that they've been wanting, to be honest. I think his ceiling is above that, and I think he could be very Tim Kelly at Geelong. He's got good speed, real aggressive, real offensive. I'm looking forward to that. But that is my Doggies 22. Let me know in the comments what you think. I mean, Eagles 22. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know where you think the Eagles will finish and what you would do different. And until next time, I'm out.